So once again, this lesson you learned how to find the percent of a number as a fraction, and you learned how to find the percent of a number as a decimal. I taught you two methods. Now we're going to be doing a real life problem. That way you guys can see how does this work in the real world. So basically you can see that you have a pie chart here, and this pie chart is basically a town and what the people speak in this town. So you can see that 50% of the townspeople speak English, 30% of the townspeople speak Spanish, 15% of the townspeople speak Vietnamese, and then 5% speak another language. So what I want to do is, if a town has 800 people, so that's going to be important. If the town has 800 people, how many can speak Spanish? So this is really good when it comes to surveys and data. That's why we really need to learn how to work with percents, especially if you're going to be in a job where data collection is important and where surveys are important. So we want to know how many people can speak Spanish in this town if there are 800 people. So what I want to know is how many can speak Spanish. So I need to know the percentage of Spanish speakers, and that's going to be out of a total of 800 people. So where do I get this percentage? You're going to look at the pie chart. You know that 30% speak Spanish, so that means that 30% of 800 is what I'm doing. So now you have learned how to solve this as a fraction, and you have learned how to solve this as a decimal. So I'm letting you choose whichever method you want to solve this. So if you want to do it as a fraction, remember that all you have to do is grab your percent, put it over 100. You're going to simplify. The 0 can cancel out the 0. You have 3 over 10. That's already simplified. And then you just multiply that by your number, which is 800. Since it's a whole number, you're going to put it over 1. You could ignore the zeros. 3 times 8 is 24. But remember, there was 2 zeros. And then 10 times 1 is 10. So our little trick, a 0 can cancel out a 0. So you have 240 over 1, which just gives me 240 Spanish speakers. So in this town of 800 people, if 30% speak Spanish, that means that 240 are going to be Spanish speakers. If you like the percentage, if you like doing it as a decimal, you're just going to grab the percent. This is if you like doing it as a decimal. You're going to slide your decimal twice. So you basically have 0.30, and you're going to multiply that by the number, which the number was 800. So that's going to be 0, 0, 0. You go down a level, 0, 0, 24. You go down another level, so that's 2 zeros. Then you have 0, 0, 0. 0, 0, 0, 4, 2. 2 decimals. So you can see it still gives you 240 Spanish speakers. So you could do it the fraction way, you could do it the decimal way. Whichever method you prefer is still going to give you the same answer. I personally like it the fraction way. That's just my personal preference. Let's do the same thing, but now let's focus on Vietnamese speakers. So the Vietnamese speakers are 15% of 800. You could do it whichever method you want. If you want to do it the fraction way, it'll be the percent over 100. If you want to do it the decimal way, it will be the decimal slide twice to the left. So you'll get 0.15. And then remember, you multiply that by the number, which was 800. Or in this situation, if you have a fraction, you're going to simplify your fraction. Then you just multiply that by the number. That's going to be 240 over 20. Sorry, 2400, sorry. I forgot there was 2 zeros, so I should have put 2 zeros. A 0 can cancel out a 0, so you're doing half of 240, which would be 120. And if you think about it, that makes sense, because look, 30%, 15%. 30%, 15%. Isn't 15% half of 30%? So it makes sense that 120 is half of 240. Because once again, Vietnamese was 15%, Spanish is 30%. 15% is half of 30%. So that makes sense that the Vietnamese speakers are half of the Spanish speakers. So that makes sense. And then if you like it as the decimal, you're just going to multiply that. So you have 800 times 0.15, 0040, 008. No, I'm sorry. Placeholder 008. And then 000. So two placeholders, 000. That's going to be 0, 0, 0, 12 carry the 1, 2 decimal places, and well, guess what? You still get 120 Vietnamese speakers. English. So we're going to focus on English now. English is 50% of the speakers. I'm actually going to teach you a little trick. Guys, when you have 50% of something, isn't that half of the total? Isn't 50% half of 100%? And look at the circle. You can see that 50% is half of the big circle. So 50% and the total was 800. Guys, what's 50% of 800? Or what's half of 800? 400. So that 50% is actually a very easy percent. 50% just means half. So you're basically going to find half of 800, because that's what 50% is. And then you can see that it's going to be 400 English speakers. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to do it really quickly. 50% over 100. You can see 5 tens is going to just simplify to become 1/2. So when you do 1/2 times 800, that's going to give you 800 divided by 2, which is 400. There you go. That's the lesson.